We begin our final third of the season here in the 2023 Turkey Hill Truck Series, and we also begin a streak of 3 straight Friday night events here, and it begins here at the Iowa Speedway. Only 6 races remain until we crown a champion. Ludovic Charette has a full race win worth of points ahead on the field. Anything can happen in these next 6 races, beginning here at the Iowa Speedway in the Casey's 200, the 13th race of the season here in the 2023 Turkey Hill Truck Series. Hello everybody, this is AG here, and welcome to the Iowa Speedway here on a Friday night. We're going to have some fun with this one next week at Chicagoland, and then 2 weeks from now at Martinsville as well. We got some Friday night races coming up here as we roll into the holiday season. Only 6 races remain until we crown a champion on Christmas Day at the Homestead Miami Speedway. Of course, I mentioned Ludovic Charette coming into this race with well over a full win's worth of points on the field. Actually, only 1 point ahead of that, but still 42 points on the field coming into this race here tonight. And if he can keep up all these solid runs, he could clinch the championship a couple races early. But a lot can happen in these next 6 races. And here at the Iowa Speedway, it can get a little crazy. We've yet to see a caution since IRP, but we may see one here tonight. I'm joined alongside Stuart Grattan and Matt Tuck for the call of this one. And Stuart, I'll start off with you. You got a driver in this championship battle. Nicholas Amadeo only 55 points behind. He starts in 7th. He's in a good position. Ludovic starts 23rd. What chance do you give your driver there in the 23 of possibly closing in on this championship here tonight?
Well, it just needs to just keep it clean, make it through the race, move up a little bit. Obviously, full points are necessary. The win is necessary tonight, and just claw back a bit of that margin right now. 55 behind Ludovic. Just needs to gain just a little bit of ground. Needs to survive. Probably won't be a massive wreck fest, as you said. We haven't seen a caution for a long time in this series, so probably not going to see a lot of chaos. Need to have clean pit stops, and just keep it clean throughout the race, and results will come our way.
And we're going to have to see what Sam Amadeo can do. Of course, Matt, you have your driver starting on the pole. You do already have a win as a team owner this season earlier at Bristol. You guys have a good short track program. Blaine Keys, what chance do you give him at possibly going to victory lane tonight here in this Casey's 200?
Well, we've definitely seen so far this year that the boys at the shop have definitely put together a very strong short track program. Other areas we struggled in, but the short tracks, these guys have shined really well this year. And I think we've seen, Blaine ran really well at Bristol. He sliced his way through the field at Richmond, had a good run at IRP, and now he gets to prime track position here tonight. And I think, not going to call a win, but I think we're going to see another good short track run for him tonight.
We're going to see a good short track race regardless here tonight as well. We've got a lot of past winners starting inside this top 5, or at least a couple of them, I should say, with Bruno Diacomo, who won at Richmond, which is a similar place to this, and Andrew Williams won 2 weeks ago at Pocono. Of course, Andrew Williams' brother, Logan Williams, won at Dover last week, but Logan sits 15th in the points. He's a little bit ways behind. Those drivers who are trying to chase Ludovic include Bruno Diacomo, who is 42 points behind coming into tonight's event. Of course, Diacomo is still the only driver who has won multiple races this season, winning Richmond and Michigan. You got Thomas Troxel, 43 points behind. Nicholas Amadeo is 55 points behind coming into this race. And Joe Rutkowski's been top 5 in points essentially this entire season. He's 63 points behind. And when he won the championship 3 years ago in this series, he didn't lead in the championship until Homestead. So watch out for Joe. If he gets a solid run here tonight, some more solid runs in these next 6 races, he could definitely have a chance in the Wawa 250 on Christmas Day. We'll like to mention Ludovic Charette starts deep in the field, 23rd, but it's Blaine Keys on the pole alongside the driver second in points, Bruno Diacomo. Pocono winner there of Andrew Williams to the inside of the winner of this race from last year, Nathan Stapleton there in the 61. Rogel Dorn, another solid run for him in qualifying to the inside of Trey Bartow there in row number 3. Nicholas Amadeo and our good friend Caleb Rose there, who was in the booth with us last week. He's just driving this week, and that's probably why he qualified a little better there on that 33 machine. Dracoan Racing Enterprises teammates of Laura Chung and Aaron Abel round out the top 10. You got Philip Torres, and there's Thomas Troxel starting in 12th. And like I mentioned, The number 14 of Ludovic Charette. You can see him deep in the field right there in the number 14 machine. Not exactly the best place to start, but he does start on the inside lane here in this 50-lap event. We'll go ahead and get these guys to roll off here from the Iowa Speedway. Go through the whole field, make sure everyone does roll off. There is our last winner, Logan Williams, starting all the way back in 32nd here tonight. Just never know when he's going to have a good run or a bad run, and I mentioned that last week, but going to start with you guys, Stuart, and then Matt. Who do you guys think's going to go to victory lane here in this Casey's 200 at Iowa?
I'm not going to risk trying to jinx the 23 with a pick here. I'm going to go with the 52 of Andrew Williams, won a couple of weeks ago, starting third tonight. I think he's in a really good position to win this one.
I'm going to go with known winning driver Max Verstappen into the 33 truck. Actually, I mean, that's Caleb Rose filling in for him this weekend, and I think Caleb Rose is going to get it done here tonight.
We'll see if he has a bit of that Max Verstappen magic here. He ain't going to win 17 races, though. I'll tell you that much. Blaine Keys might get his first one, though. We'll see what he can do for your team, Matt, as we're Green Flag Racing in the Iowa Speedway in the Casey's 200 on a Friday night. Lap 1 will in fact be led by Blaine Keys. Bonus point towards the championship for him, and he only sits 107 behind, which in 6 races is quite a bit to make up, but hey, still not out of the championship fight quite yet. Caleb Rose getting around there. Trey Bartow, and then you had Zachary Fitzwater, Joe Rakowski bounce off each other there. I think Brian Webb might have gotten a piece of that one, and Rakowski a bit slow there on the apron and jamming up the field behind him. A little bit of an interesting start back in the field, but a good start for Blaine Keys in the 1.
Yeah, that could have been really ugly there with Fitzwater nearly getting into the wall. Good start for Keys to jump out to the lead. And then behind them, Williams up to second already, getting around Giacomo. Good run for Hairgel Motorsports with the 82 of Giacomo on the outside of his teammate, Roval Dawn, who hasn't had as great of a year as Giacomo, to say the least, but having a very strong run in the 4. And then my boy Nicholas Samadeo up to 4th here around the 82.
And of course, both Samadeo and Roval Dorn had great runs last week at Dover. Roval Dorn actually got his first top 10 of the season and also got a top 5 in the process. And he's finally coming up to speed to what we saw in the Cup Series this past year. And of course, Nicholas Samadeo, he's just fast no matter what. Even if it's no ratings, he's fast, as we have seen many times before. And a good season for Samadeo, but he is still yet to go to victory lane in a stock car this year. Went the whole Wawa Cup Series without a win and almost won the championship. And he's had a solid run here, but still winless in the Truck Series with only 6 races left to go. Giacomo a little wide right here. He's got to be careful. As the defending winner of this race, Nathan Stapleton just got to the inside of him. We got 3 wide there. Laura Chung in the middle there, and Philip Torres putting him 3 wide there to the inside. Good racing here at Iowa. And hey, we got the Cup Series coming here next year as well. This is a fun racetrack, and they get around this place pretty quick. But a lot of great racing all throughout here in this Casey's 200.
Yeah, we saw Giacomo there. Definitely brushed the outside wall going down the front straightaway, and then got absolutely plagued by Laura Chung, Philip Torres. Now Josh Williamson is going to absolutely put him under a massive amount of pressure, who's under pressure from Caleb Rose, who hasn't had a great start to this race here so far. A lot of great racing going on here in this mid-pack. All these drivers, some of these drivers are not far out of being in the championship hunt, with Ludovic Charette not having a great starting position and has not moved up a ton to the field here tonight. So we're going to see if some of these drivers, like a Josh Williamson, who's had a hot couple of weeks, we see Charette has dropped back a lot of positions so far tonight. That is not a good situation to put himself in, especially with Bruno Giacomo seeming to have a so far decent night.
And this is something that Ludovic cannot in any way, shape, or form have, especially considering he's had a whole race win worth of points, so there's no mathematical way he leaves this race not in first place, but he's trying. All the way down in 35th right now, and Ludovic has had a few runs as of late that have not been up to par, but he's been able to take advantage of everybody else's misfortune to keep himself in the points lead, but he's going to fall all the way to the last position right here as Casey Nandico gets around him. We're going to have to see if they can make an adjustment on the pit stop there on that 14 machine. Did forget to mention at the top of the show, we got about a 30-lap fuel run here as well. Maybe a little bit longer than it was at Dover, but right around that 32-lap mark here at the Iowa Speedway for these guys. So definitely going to have a clutch pit stop if you want to gift the race victory. That's what Logan Williams did last week to get his win at Dover, and Andrew might try to do the same thing because he's slipping back a little bit as Blaine Keys pulls away in this one.
Yeah, Blaine Keys. We saw that Velocistar have been quick on the short tracks this year. Obviously got a win with Noah Clifton earlier in the year, and so this kind of speed is not the least bit surprising in my eyes. He's got a close to just about a second on Andrew Williams. There's a good run for Williams in second, and Samadeo in fourth, and even Diacomo down in seventh. Josh Williamson as well, Stapleton. All these guys, they're all in the top 10 in points, and right now running in the top 10 in the race. Closing in a fair bit on the 14, so need to really just keep it up, just keep up this speed and hope that the 14 continues to struggle. And another thing I saw before as well, I think was the 27 of Kukulon hit the wall off the final turn, and you see the damage there on the right side. Just keep that in mind. We might, if you're on the outside, you lose a little bit of grip, you hit the wall, that's going to slow you down on pit road.
Absolutely, and we'll probably see that at a Kukulon, who has not had near the season he had last year, but he's still 12th in points, which is rather strong, all things considered, I would say. And his teammate Roberto Crown Jr. right behind him there, so a good run for Stover Motorsports this season. But Blaine Keys having a good run in this race, looking to get what I would believe be his first ever Truck Series win. I don't think he's ever won in the Truck Series on the channel before. And he sits 15th, or I should say 14th in points coming into this one. So he's kind of been up and down, but definitely a strong suit for your team matter. These short tracks, we saw that at Bristol when Noah Clifton went to victory lane, and we're seeing it here with the number 1 machine.
Yeah, it's been a very strong aspect of this program here in this 2023 season. Other areas, we've definitely, it's been an up and down cycle. Some races can be incredible, some can go really well, some can go really badly, but as a collective whole, the short track program has been very strong for our guys, and we see this battle heating up here. We've got second place Andrew Williams has himself a little bit of a gap, but Rogel Dorn, Nicholas Samadeo, Nathan Stapleton, Philip Torres has had a great charge through the field here in this race so far.
A 44 looking to the inside there for 5th. Phillips had a pretty solid year. He's 16th in the point standings. Only 2 top 10s, but he's had a lot of finishes right around just outside the top 10 this year as well, and definitely a solid outing for him in his first full-time season on the channel. Of course, his fellow Sprint Series driver there of Bruno Diacomo has had a much better run, and he's looking to regain another position right here. And Diacomo didn't fall back there either, so he's still maintaining a top 10 run right now. However, second place will change hands in the point standings the way they currently run to Samadeo, who is, actually, no, I'm wrong about that. Samadeo's 55 behind, and it's Troxel who's 43 behind him. Troxel not really having a good run once again. He struggled at Dover last week, and he's struggling right here, 35th for Troxel. So the top 2, or should I say 2 of the top 3 drivers in points, majorly struggling here tonight. Ledovic's trying to regain some ground here as they're tapping the wall around him. He's got to be careful not to get caught up in an accident. Mike and Knapp there, Andrew Miller in the middle of all this. But definitely going to be interesting to see how the points end up shaking out, especially if they continue to stay in their respective positions, because Diacomo's going to be right there. Samadeo's going to close in some more. And Samadeo is one of the few guys who actually did close in on Ledovic in that last race at Dover as well. So it's 23. I know you're looking for Samadeo to possibly pull it out for you guys at Grattan Autosport. I'm sure you're liking what you're seeing here, as he is right behind that 4 machine of Rogel Dorn.
If I'm being honest with you, I'm actually a bit frustrated because it's clear that the 23 has a bit more speed than the 4, but just for some reason just cannot find a way around him at the moment. He's been hounding the back bumper of that Mobil 1 number 4 for so long in this race, and at some point you gotta get past him. So a little bit of frustration there, but still top 4 at the moment's not anything to complain too much about. Just as well, we saw Stapleton nearly go up and hit the wall off of 2. I was talking about, cars hitting trucks hitting the outside wall, losing grip. Do have to be careful. We haven't seen a caution in recent times, but if they do bounce back hard enough, they can cause a collision, and create a yellow. And that, I mean, it wouldn't affect pit stops because they'd still be able to make it on fuel from here. But certainly could shake things up depending on how teams go on pit road. So just got to be careful here as we approach that pit cycle.
It's going to be interesting to see if we see something similar to what we saw last week at Dover with some drivers short pitting, maybe getting an advantage. Of course, the tire wear is not as significant here at Iowa as it is at the Dover Motor Speedway. But still, we may see some of these guys try to shortcut this one machine because Blaine Keys now has about a 2.5 second lead on the field. And it's going to take either a caution and a restart or some pit strategy to defeat this one because he continues to pull away as Andrew Williams slips up just a little bit. San Mateo still all over the back bumper of Rogel-Doran, not being too aggressive to make the pass right here. And that could be on purpose. He may not want to get caught up in an accident and risk his top 5 run. Philip Torres, Bruno Diagmo still up here as well. Great runs for those guys. Stapleton, last year's winner of this race, slipping up a little bit as he's in the clutches of his teammate Josh Williamson. And then you got Caleb Rose there in the 33. Trey Bartow inside the top 10. Just outside the top 10 is Fitzy. He is in 11th. Lord Chung, Igor Barreto there. The IRP winner is 13th. There's Joe Rutkowski, 14th for him. Aaron Abel, Juan Rodriguez. Got a battle here between Eric Drew and Avery Alford. Roberto Crown Jr., Noah Clifton. Our last winner, Logan Williams, trying to move his way through the field. He's top 20 now as he gets around Shane Lake. Or actually, he's 21st right now, excuse me. You got Derek Hamill there, who was very strong in that race at Dover last week. Ladovic has essentially moved it back up to his starting position. He's 24th now in the 14. John Andrews, not a good run for Nathan Ormond considering some of his past runs. Andrew Miller and Brian Webb there. Eric Monaco, Micah Knapp, Sebastian Kukulon, Troxel deep in the field, Sam at Oskin, Ethan Lewis, Casey Nanico, and Chris Reynolds. Nobody out of the race, no mechanical issues, and everybody still on the lead lap. We're past halfway here in the Casey's 200. Blaine Keys has led every lap so far, so a bonus point towards the championship for that. Andrew Williams, though, may learn what his brother did last week and try to pull that strategy off and maybe defeat this one.
Well, he's going to definitely... we know that 52 truck has got a lot of speed. I mean, we saw at Pocono where he just went absolutely bananas over that final run and chased down Grattan Autosport driver Derek Hamill. And, you know, he's had a overall, though, you have to tip your hat to Andrew Williams. He's had a very lovely last couple of weeks here in this series and has been able to work his way up through the points. Also, Rugel-Dorn having a really nice race in the number 4 machine here. And, of course, there's just, you know, Nicholas Samadillo just doing good old Nicholas Samadillo things, running in the top 5, which is exactly where Grattan Autosport drivers should be driving, given the level of equipment they have. But definitely not a budget performance out of Samadillo tonight. And, Josh Williamson up the track, too, getting roughed up by Caleb Rose. The pit stop should be closed. Ooh, here we go.
There they go. There we go. Blaine's already down. So the 52 there, going to get a lap led, Bruno Diacomo, and we'll just have to see. I think Rogel also came down as well. Now you got Samadillo out front still leading a lap, and you know what? I don't know if this strategy is going to work out too well for Samadillo and Philip Torres staying out a little bit later here. However, the tire wear not as significant here, so they might be able to close in, maybe get a bit of an advantage. But Blaine Keys is already out. He's got to be careful with the merge here because that merge point down that backstretch, it can be kind of tight, but he's going to be able to get through it all right. So a nice clean stop for Blaine Keys, and he was in and out so fast we didn't even catch him. I think everyone has actually hit the pit lane already, which is nice to see right there. There's Andrew Williams in the 52, and here we go. Where is he going to come out in relation to Blaine Keys? Little ways behind him, because that one machine is already gone. How about this for Blaine Keys and you guys there at Team Velocistar? And Blaine looking to become the 12th different winner of the season. Only Bruno Diacomo has won multiple races so far this year. Blaine Keys looking to continue that streak of first-time winners this season. Doesn't look like Rogel-Dorn had a good stop. I think he was a little ways back at this point. Either that or he may, you know what, I think he may have surpassed the one machine. Not entirely sure how he did that, but the way it's looking like on the scoreboard, he's your new race leader. How about that for Rogel-Dorn? may have played a little strategy on the pit lane because he's well ahead of that one machine here.
Yeah, we'd like to see how that happened.
Yeah, we're gonna replay that in the corner of your screen because we completely missed his pit stop. Trying to compare it to Blaine Keys here. We'll see, though. It's going to be obvious if he took tires or not. Blaine Keys, he did have to get around lap traffic right there. Gained just a little bit. Logan Williams is coming off the pit lane now. Trey Bartow is third. How about that for Bartow? A great stop for the 18 machine. Zachary Fitzwater's up to fourth, and it's Andrew Williams. Philip Torres, the 82 of Bruno Diacomo, still in their respective positions. Williamson is eighth. Then it's Barretto, Caleb Rose, Sam Badillo down to 11th. He fell back just a little bit right there. Not exactly what he needed. Rutkowski's the 12th. I think Oskin's a lap down. Logan Williams up to 13th. He gained a lot of ground there on his cycle of pit stops. And where's Ladovic at? Oh, he didn't gain at all. Ladovic is actually a lap down in 35th. And a lot happened on the pit lane there. The 93 is now 2 laps down, and the 1 is now 0.6 of a second behind this 4 machine. So it is pretty obvious that Rogel may have gone fuel only on his stop because that 1 is flying, and we're going to have to see if he can get around this 4 machine in the near future, and I think that's going to be the case here.
I think he's going to
he's going to grab him here.
He's going to get it quick.
Not quite yet, though. Difficult place to make a pass, and we saw Sam Badillo behind this 4 machine, couldn't get around him. However, Blaine is going to have the fresher tires, but Rogel's going to try to block him into the corner, and he's going to do all he can to hold up this 1 and make him wear out his tires, and I don't know. Rogel might still have a shot here. If he can hold off this 1 and block him on these corners, he could have a good opportunity at possibly stealing this race victory.
Maybe Blaine is going too low into turn 1. Maybe he's just not getting as much grip as he probably needs to. Look, Rogel's doing a great job holding Blaine back. Don't know if he can do it for another 11 laps, but done a great job to this point, and regardless, should be a pretty good finish here for the 4. And you can see he's really holding him up because you can see the 99 of Webb has really
there we go.
massively closed in. Here we go. Now he's got him.
Yeah, and I think that 1's going to hold that grip on the inside. Rogel's going to try to get something on the outside. Not enough, but still a great effort out of Rogel in there trying to steal this one away from Blaine Keys. And another caution-free race up to this point. Doesn't necessarily mean we're going to stay that way, the way these guys race around this racetrack, but I'm sure Blaine Keys does not want to see another caution here tonight because at this point, he's got this race on lock. Rogel going to slip back a little bit, but I think he's still going to hold on to the 2nd position right there. We got a battle here, Andrew Williams and Zachary Fitzwater, and we definitely had some drivers take fuel only and some guys go with tires, and I think we're seeing that effect right now because Andrew Williams getting around this 54, Philip Torres as well, Williamson, Barretto, Bartow's falling back in the 18 machine, Sam Badillo in 11th still, holding off Joe Rutkowski. He was a lot further up not too long ago. This is a mess right here, and they have to be careful not to get involved in anything because you got some guys who are considerably faster than others. You see Andrew Williams now clearing these guys. He's pulling away. Williamson looking on Philip Torres there. That's for the 5th position, no, the 4th position. And Diacomo in a great position to really close in on Ladovic because Ladovic is still deep in the field. 34th, 1 lap down. He's going to lose that pretty much that entire points lead the way this is looking right now. That 82 machine still holds on to a now top 5 run here at the Iowa Speedway.
I will say, I was thinking about this watching Blaine Keys size up the 4 truck and get him by. First off, it was almost a carbon copy of what we saw at Bristol with the 82 and the 2 truck going at it. The teammates of the 2 drivers we just saw going at it, but watching that horde of traffic there from about 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th, and 10th, all those drivers going so hard, racing each other for spots. Rugel actually was a really smart call, I think, to stay out, or to go what I'm assuming is a fuel-only pit stop, given how much track position he gained on Blaine Keys, because it got him out ahead of all of that skirmish. He's probably going to get chased down by Andrew Williams, maybe not, but he's definitely going to have secured himself, I think, a better finish than had he just gone with the flow, done 4 tires, and ended up in that horde of midfielders.
I think you're right about that, because that 4 machine, I think he's going to hold on the second, because we only got 4 laps to go. Now, my concern here is with Blaine Keys in these lap cars, because, you know, even though we have not seen a wreck in this race, they definitely look like they're about to wreck each and every lap here, and Blaine's got to be careful around these guys, because, you know, one of these guys makes a mistake and he's in the wrong place. He could get knocked out, but it's only 3 laps to go here at the Iowa Speedway for Blaine Keys, and he's got a 3-second lead there on Rogel Dorn right now, so he should be able to kind of just ride this one out, but I'm telling you, he doesn't want to ride it out. He's peeking there on Stapleton while Webb's peeking on him. I don't know. He's just got to be careful. But 2 laps to go here in the Casey's 200 at Iowa. Once again, another caution-free race. Once we get to Chicagoland next week, I don't think that's going to be the case. I think we're going to probably see a yellow flag in that one. But what a season it's been so far. And we're looking to get our 12th different winner of the season here in only 13 races.
And I think Blaine Keys will jump into the top 10 in points with this win as well.
I believe you're right.
I mean, he is... another solid run for him tonight. He was pretty good in the Cup Series, and 2 wins there, and on track for another one.
And Blaine Keys takes the white flag here at the Iowa Speedway in the midst of all these lap cars as well. So he's got to be careful with that. Gonna peek to the outside there is Stapleton. Just gonna ride it out cleanly. Blaine Keys in the 1 for Team Velocistar. Both of their drivers have gone to victory lane. Keys wins the Casey's 200 at Iowa. Rogel Dorn's going to finish 2nd. Andrew Williams, Bruno Diacomo, Igor Barreto, Philip Torres, Zachary Fitzwater, Caleb Rose, Trey Bartow, and Nicholas Amadeo is going to get a top 10 out of all this, so he's going to also gain on Ludovic Charette. Josh Williamson had to come down the pit lane near the end of all that right there, and here is Ludovic in the 14 machine. A lot deeper in the field than he would have wanted. He is going to finish in the 34th position after having a 42-point lead coming into the night. Definitely not what he needed right there. And Diacomo is going to close right back in on this championship battle. So will Samadeo. Troxel also struggled, though. In the 93, he actually finished below Ludovic Charette. So you're now looking at Diacomo and Samadeo, and also Joe Rutkowski and Andrew Williams. All of those guys are going to gain on the 14 of Ludovic Charette, and they're all going to be much closer in this title with only 5 races left to go. And hey, if Blaine Keys can keep that momentum up in these next 5 races, he could also have a chance. So we'll have to see what he can do, but great run for Blaine Keys, absolutely the dominant guy. But I think the driver of the day is Rogel Dorn, pulling off that strategy, getting a 2nd place run, and hey, I mean, you know, a lot of y'all know what happened there. You know, he's not happy with the team because he wasn't having a good start to the season. Well, now he is almost the best driver on that team, and Diacomo had a good run as well, but Rogel definitely showing his strength as a driver now that he's got these ratings stacked up quite a bit this late in the season. Andrew Williams finishes 3rd, Bruno Diacomo, Igor Barreto, Philip Torres, Zachary Fitzwater all up there. Very interesting race, and, you know, we only got 5 races left to go. Ludovic had a terrible run here tonight. And, Stuart, I know you got a guy in the championship fight, but, you know, do you think Ludovic's going to be able to hold on to this championship lead, or do you think it might get a little crazy here in these last 5 races?
Well, crazy has been kind of the way it's gone across the Cup Series in particular. Those last 10 races were just bonkers. So... you know, there's potential for it, obviously. Ludovic obviously just didn't have a... Troxel and him just terrible runs, just completely out of character for them. You know, out of character runs, and so you expect them to bounce back, but you never know. They might not next week, and we might see, you know, hopefully for my sake, Samadeo close in a bit, but obviously also Diacomo and Rutkowski. Andrew Williams is a sneaky one, I think. He finished 3rd tonight and nearly got 2nd in the end, less than a 2nd. And so, you know, I think those guys certainly have a case now that after this result. And I think one of the biggest losers of the night is Josh Williamson, who was running in the top 10 until coming down, I think, with like a lap to go, and he finishes 26th.
Yeah, not a good run for him right there, but we'll have to see how that ends up shaking him out. But he's going to fall back a little bit in the points. He was 8th coming in. But Matt, you know, Blaine Keys, Another win for your team is Blaine's first win of the season. And he was 107 behind coming into this race. He's going to be much closer after this one. What are the odds that you give him at possibly stealing this championship away?
Well, I don't think necessarily that the championship is lining up to be able to chase that down. Would need a lot of dominating runs, for that to go well. But the Celsius Crusader was absolutely fantastic for him tonight, and it was an impressive dominating run. He had a huge lead, I think almost a 3-second lead before the pit stop cycle, and then proceeded to pull 3.2 seconds on Rugal Dorn in about the last 10 laps. So that was a very well hooked up number one machine tonight, and a very impressive dominating win. I don't think the championship is on the cards, but we would love to pick up a few more spots and get up top 7, 6, 5 for him.
That's very possible for that number one team and Blaine Keys after tonight's win. Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Hey, our next race, or the next race that I am going to do, is the Thanksgiving 500 next Thursday at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. We are so excited for that one. Hopefully both of you guys are in that race, and hopefully a lot of you guys in this truck race are in that as well. We already did the sign-ups last Friday night. Thanks once again to Caleb for running those for me. And, hey, it's one of the biggest races of the year. We're going to have a lot of fun with it, and excited to see who gets it done. You'll see the Rowdy Energy Pro Series Tuesday night from Chicagoland, and then we're back with the Truck Series next Friday night, day after Thanksgiving. It's going to be a lot of fun with only 5 races left to go at Chicagoland Speedway, and that is a huge wild card race. We all know how Chicagoland is. And hey, that could really shake up the championship once again. And we really don't have a clear-cut favorite at this point either, because Ladovic Charette has had so many of these runs where he's just not been up to speed. And I don't know if he's going to be able to hold on to the championship if he keeps that up. We'll just have to see what happens next week. Only 38 laps there at Chicagoland, but it's going to be a good one. And only 5 races to go. This season's almost done here for the Turkey Hill Truck Series, and we're only about a month away, a little over a month away, from crowning a champion here in 2023. Congratulations to Blaine Keys for getting it done here in the Casey's 200 Iowa, and we'll see you guys on Thursday for the Thanksgiving 500 at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for watching once again. Congratulations to Blaine Keys, and on behalf of Stuart Gratton and Matt Tuck, I will see you guys later.